Yeah. So last class, we just started a couple of instances through the Terraform, right? So have you guys tried at least spinning up instances through Terraform? Any issues you faced?
Last class I was not there, so I just have to go through the recording.
Okay.
But previous sessions, I have gone through that, Gopi.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any questions out of that, Shruti?
No, not right now, I think.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to go through a couple of points in the Terraform. Um,
Can you just briefly explain like what is Terraform,
yeah,
Gopi, just to
yeah, yes.
understand this session?
Okay. So for in the so I wanted to give just a brief background of Terraform. So what happened in the IT industry, especially in the system administration or infra provisioning team, um, if they are getting a request, let us take a if they are getting build a Linux on 10 servers and Windows on 20 servers. Just think about if it is not automated, how are you going to spin up 10 servers? How are you going to spin up the 20 servers, Windows servers? And in the background, they're supposed to create a network configurations. They have to open a firewall request. So many things are there. So that was again, it is a tedious job for the system administrator, network administrator, and it will, minimum it will take a 2 weeks, max 1 month also, because all the approvals is required in order to place the number of servers, right? It is again why are you waiting the 10, 30 days or 40 days to spin up these many servers? So that's again a drawback, right? So then this infrastructure as a code comes into the picture. The infrastructure as a code comes into the picture. So what are the tools which comes under infrastructure as code? So Terraform is one of the open source platform, and Amazon side, AWS side, there is a AWS Cloud Formation. Mm, there is one more tool called Vagrant. GCP also it has their own infrastructure as a core tool, and Azure also has its own tool. So it depends on the on the cloud providers. They are created their own business purpose. They have created their own cloud provisioners. But why Terraform is so popular than the other tools? This is this Terraform is going to provision or support all the platforms, all the cloud providers. You can spin up the instances resources from the AWS cloud, or it is going to spin up from the Terraform, from the Google cloud, or you can create a resources from the Azure cloud also. So it supports all type of providers, all cloud providers, even on-prem servers also you can provision through the Terraform platform. So that is the result. The Terraform become much more popular, and since it is open source, right? So there are some costs involved, because if you are going with enterprise edition and with the support, so there is a subscription is needed, so that I mean it depends in the companies, they are using those sort of things. But for our training purpose, we no need to pay anything, so we can play just a couple of things. We cannot provide everything, because that is again charging in the AWS side. So whichever is free versions, so we're going to play with that. So yesterday I had showed you on how to spin up a EC2 instance. So those things. Let me create a one instance through the Terraform so that you will get an idea. I'm going to create a one more folder here. So let me create one more folder. So here I am creating a one folder, file. So whatever the files you are creating under the folder, so you are going to create a file ends with the .yap. It means .terraform file. So that is how the syntax is going to work here. So I'm just pasting the some content here. So if you look at this syntax, resources, AWS EC2 instance, and example server, I'm just tagging the name, and the AMI. So this is the AMI I'm using for Linux. You know, right, what AMIs we are using. This is for Ubuntu AMI. If you go back, if you look at each image, this one Amazon Linux has a one AMI ID. So Ubuntu image also has their own AMI ID. So I just copied this one, this AMI ID. See, 11DO end with 11DO. And instance type I'm using T2.micro. Count how many servers you want. I'm just initially I will use only one server, and this is tag name of the server. If you just execute this one, first you need to
Instance type in the sense like what is that called?
instance type in the
Mic.
sense what let me open that here. Instance type, what capacity you want. Small
Okay.
means one CPU,
Okay, got
2
it.
GB memory, so like that.
Okay.
Since I'm using T2.micro for free versions, we can use this one also, because we are going to immediately terminate it, right? So you can use any one. First step is 90. You have to initiate the Terraform in the folder with the help of Terraform initiation. so that the Terraform is going to track whatever the things you are making here. So it is initiated Terraform plan. This is going to validate all the syntaxes and giving you a skeleton structure whether your syntax everything is ready, so that it is going to give you like the plan. So since I am running from local system, so little it will take some time. So one to add, because we have the count we had given only one, right? If you go now, Terraform, apply, it is going to create. See all the skeleton it has given. Yeah. By default, instance type it's taking T2 block micro. This is the MID. So like this, it is gonna give you a skeleton structure. Now after issuing apply, so it is prompting whether you wanted to proceed with the change. If you just type yes, it is gonna create with one instance of this image of instance type T2 to type micro and tagging Terraform example. Okay. See one added. It means one server got created. You can open the database console. See, Terraform example is running with T2.micro, and what image we have chosen? Ubuntu image. AMID. ID ends with 11D0. The ID ends with 11D0. So this is how, if you wanted to create a 10 servers also, if you just create a count here, how many servers you want. Let me add one more here. Again, if I give Terraform -, auto approve. It means we don't need to provide again yes or no. It is auto approving, so that it is gonna spin up one more instance, because already one instance is already created, right? So like that. Now the life, the provisioning things became easier now for the administration purpose. So you don't need to spend months, days together to create one server like this. So that is how the infrastructure code becomes so popular, especially in the automation area.
Gopi, suppose if we want to modify the instance type after creation, like if
Yeah,
we want to upgrade.
correct. I'll explain that one also.
Okay.
See one added. Let me refresh. See now 2 servers got created because we had given count as 2. Now, as you said, no, if you wanted to upgrade to T2 dot T2 dot small, This is the US question, right? You wanted to upgrade.
Yeah, same instance if we want to upgrade it to small.
Yeah. Just give Terraform plan. See what has happened now. It is not that it is gonna modify the things to change. What are the changes? See, instance type earlier it was t2.micro, now it is moved to t2.small. It is just given a
Okay.
skeleton, not yet applied. We have to then apply now.
This is nothing but like in the real time, storage administrators used to add the storages and all, right? So in this, we can directly upgrade it to from lower to higher, right?
Exactly.
This is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So on fly itself, I mean, in the console itself, if you wanted to change, upgrade or degrade, all modifications you can done
Okay.
through Terraform. I mean, the best way is Terraform only. If you directly running doing the things in the console again, Terraform maybe not, it is not aware of that, whatever the things you're doing. So obviously, do it through the Terraform only. Or if you are doing, manually in the console, the Terraform has to know you have to do some, run some commands to sync the content from AWS Cloud to Terraform. So where is all these configuration things are keeping in the Terraform? Okay, how the information is storing in the Terraform. So with the help of Terraform state file, I'll tell you how it works. Okay, to change. If you refresh, now earlier it was micro, now it has changed to T2 small. So that's how you can modify. Now, how Terraform knows whatever the provisions, servers we had provisioned through the Terraform, we did lot of operations, but especially in the corporate sector, they used to do lot of, the thousands together servers they used to provision, decommission. So where are they storing all the information? So there is a concept called Terraform.ts state. Terraform.tf state, Terraform state file we call it as. So what is this file is doing? It is managing all the configuration part in the TF state itself. So if you look at the resources, look at the server name, what provider it has initiated, the what instance ID here, and what is the zone ID using, and what type of CPU gets. So all these configurations, ID, instance ID, public AMID, private DNS. So all the server's information is going to store in the .tf state file. Okay. Now, what happens if Terraform state file if it got deleted accidentally, somebody deleted, what is going to happen here? You cannot, there is no option to recover the the configuration part. Once deleted means deleted, that's it. Your entire organization is going to, it will be a big impact for them. But how to overcome this, accidental deletion things? So, most of the organizations are going to keep this file in a cloud store, in the safe place called any storages. Either it could be a S3 bucket or some storages. It depends upon their, companies which providers they are managing. So if they are using AWS, they are storing in AWS EC2, not EC2, AWS S3 bucket. So that if you accidentally delete also, there is option to roll back because that is maintaining the version and things, right? So that is how this state file works. And also there is a mechanism called locking mechanism. So in real time, what happens in a project? Multiple people are working on the same, Terraform because they people are. I mean, each company they don't have different folders, right? In a single folder only, all the people are supposed to work. But one person is, doing adding the servers, and some person is doing some modifications. Another person is doing some additions or destroying the things. So how all these things are happening? But if somebody is creating, somebody is deleting in this, there should be some locking mechanism, right? So that locking mechanism plays an important role when you are doing some, modifications. So the part, whenever if you log in, I mean, if you get a chance to work in the DevOps area, so that you will get to know how this locking mechanism is happening. Because here I'm just only one person is working, right? So I cannot represent that locking mechanism. But that is how it works. There is a locking mechanism can be implemented once you stored in the S3 bucket, and there are some mechanisms are there to maintain the locking mechanism. If somebody is doing something, other persons should have to wait until the first person's work to complete. So that is how it works. Now I wanted to show you one more example. So I am going to create a one server in the AWS. Terraform import example. I'm using this one. Okay, I just created. So this is the one, the server got created manually in the AWS cloud. But do you think this Terraform aware of that? If you should Terraform plan, so do you think that it is gonna recognize whichever is doing the things in the cloud? No changes. Because Terraform not at all aware of what you are doing in manually in the cloud. right? But how to get that server into Terraform? So there is a concept called import, Terraform import. Let's import that server, Terraform. Terraform import. I get the exact syntax. Instance name. AWS instance dot the name of the server. What name we are given? Terraform import exp is the name of the instance, and let me give in instance ID also. Okay, so it is prompting add this content into the main.tf. Now you start import. Now Terraform is recognizing the external resource. I mean, whatever the resources you had provided earlier, right, in the GUI. Now it is tracking. See, this was the IP, sorry, not IP, instance ID, and the name instance Terraform import -exp. This is the name which is now it is tracked. Now I wanted to terminate. So you can remove this non-needed now. Save. Now it has become 3, right? I wanted to terminate all. Terraform destroy part-2. So now it is gonna destroy all your the servers which you provided. Three to destroy. Destroying all the resources. But how to destroy only a specific server? I don't want to disturb the existing servers. You look at all the information, erase it from the Terraform shadefile also. Because no resources are there, right? You go here also, all the running servers going to terminate. So it is terminated. This one also terminated. This one also terminated. So that is how through infrastructure as a code, you are going to play with the provisioning, destroying, modifying, all these things you can done. Got it right? Any questions? No?
Gopi, whichever the servers that we have created with the help of Terraform, so can we go ahead and create the databases as well, right? In that?
Exactly, yeah. The first step is provisioning the servers. I mean, server, bring up the servers using Terraform.
So
Then you are
that
going to, then you are going to,
that can we do it through the Terraform or from the AWS cloud
you
itself,
can,
like how we used to?
yeah, you can do it through Terraform also, but not all the time preferable because this tool is dedicated for the provisioning purpose.
Okay.
Use the Ansible.
Okay.
So configuration management tools plays the installation part of the any sort of installations. It could be a database or it could be a application server. Any installation part is going to play using the configuration management tools. So even as I said in Ansible classes, one example I showed you in Nginx servers how to deploy. So that's how the each tool. So that is the reason each tool, what purpose it is playing, it is important. DevOps
Okay.
life cycle. If you look at the images, see, each page there is a one tool is playing important role. Git is for managing your all the code. So whatever the TF files I showed, we can keep all these things in a Git itself. If you just initialize Git, push all this content to remote repository, so your all Terraform files is going to store in the remote repositories. That is how companies are managing their all the files, TF files, everything. Then Maven is for building purpose. All these testing tools. So Puppet to Ansible Cheppo. Here your in configuration management place in the deployment stage. You are going to spin up the server and install the DBs applications. So like this. So that's why it said CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So that is why this symbol comes like this. Continuously you are committing the things and immediately you are going to do your testing. But earlier days, when whoever is not adopting DevOps, they have to wait in order to one modules if they wanted to implement, they are taking years or months together to implement all the things. But after adopting DevOps, all the tools are playing important role and immediately are going to test it. So that is the advantages of making use of this DevOps culture. Correct? No, got no, Shruti?
Yes, Gopi.
Okay. Now I wanted to explain a few more concepts so that Terraform modules. So what Terraform modules means, you are going to segregate the each and every component. So in companies, some teams are using AWS cloud, some teams are using Azure, and some companies are using GCP, Google Cloud. Some companies Oracle Cloud Infra they are using. So like this, But how are you going to segregate the work? How are you going to maintain different cloud providers with the help of modules, Terraform modules? I'll just show you one example. It is already created. I'll go through. So let me open the folder. So if you look at there is a folder called modules I had created. Under the modules, we had created one more folder called the EC2 instance. There could be multiple models also, right? EC2 is one model, S3 bucket is another model, providing the security group is another model like that. I just given only EC2 model. So it looks like this. See, if you close all the files. This is the main Terraform file where we are providing the AWS cloud, and the region is US East at chosen, and module is EC2 instance. Source in the sense which module you are going to point. So under the modules folder, I'm going to use EC2 instance under the submodule. There I started using the different files, main file, output file, variable files. Again, a variables output is another one more concept here. Variables in the sense, again, you are separately or maintaining all your configuration part instead of keeping in one file. Okay. Variables are declaring one file, outputs .tf also it plays an important role to gives you to get the output of the what you wanted to achieve. Suppose if you wanted to get only a public IP, you can use the output tf like this. Variables .tf, in the sense you are going to maintain all variables separate file. What I did earlier, what I showed, all here I just created one instance, right? AMI, I created instance type. In the same file I'm giving, but in companies, I mean in the real projects, you cannot add code like this, right? You have to segregate the separate files. Then only it looks good. If you are providing, if you are inputting multiple things, you have to maintain the separate files for each configuration part so that it is easier to understand. Since we are providing only one server, we are keeping here like this. But what if you are provisioning 100 servers? You can add hard code like this, right? So that's how the variables comes into the picture. So let me demonstrate on. See, if you look at this one variable file, variable I'm defining AMI value in the main TF. So this is AMI value. How many variables you are declaring? Those many variables you have to define here in the variable static. So 3 we are given IMA value, instance type, subnet ID, and so that is how it looks like. Okay, this mine is different. This mine comes under EC2. This mine is comes under the mine root file. Okay, don't get confused. When values are not declared, that is mine file. When values are declared, that is submodule file. So this looks like this. Now, if you insert Terraform is already initiated. We have just applying, planning, issuing the plan, Terraform plan. So it is going to give you the skeletal structure, how many instances is going to add. Okay, manage a resource AWS instance example has not been declared. Okay. AWS instance example. Image resource example. Let's cover and see. Okay, so I'm just removing the output. Let's see first how whether variables are working or not. So now plan is ready. One to add is showing because only one instance we are declared here. Now Terraform apply to approve. Okay, it is created only one server present. Let's go back console and check. One server is created with t2.micro we had given. So this was the subnet ID. What subnet ID we had given? So subnet ID ends with a DDF1. DDF1. So like that, if you wanted to, segregate different modules, you can create like this. If you wanted to create a S3 bucket, also create a one more folder under modules. You can start, provision S3 bucket also. Similarly, VPC, you can create a database module also, RDS service. So like this, you can, make use of this module concept. So any questions so far?
No.
And similarly, you can, destroy same way. I can do. But this is, only the basics, all these things. But if you want the advanced level of Terraform, we need to, there is again, we cannot go here. We need to get a subscription of the Terraform Enterprise. There we have to play with that, some advanced level concepts. So no, not an issue, but you should be familiar with the basics first. Then, you will go with the advanced after some time. I mean, once you get into organizations.
Gopi, after terminating, right, after destroying, so can we start the same instance which has been created before? Or it is completely gone and we have to create one more?
Destroying. If you want, you can
Hello?
again, you just, if you want to create again, you need to, apply it, Terraform apply. So it
Okay,
is going to
okay.
create the same sort of configuration service.
Okay.
So that is how in a single, line itself, you are going to play with all your infrastructure. Correct. No?
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to explain one more topic so that we're gonna complete the Terraform. There is a concept called Terraform Provisioner. Terraform Provisioners. Um, Provisioners. So what is the use of this Terraform Provisioner means? There are three concepts comes into the picture: local, EXEC, and remote. As you asked me how to install a database on the server, with the help of these provisioners, you are going to play in the remote section. Remote in the sense you are going to perform some action on the target server. So with the help of Terraform provisioners, you are going to install the DB servers. You can define the things like that. Terraform provisioner. Let me remote EXEC. Invoke a script on a remote resource after it created. It can be used to run configuration management tool. As I said, no, you are going to, if you wanted to do some sort of configuration on the server, you can use this Terraform provisioner concept, remote EXEC. On remote EXEC in the sense, it is going to action on the remote or target servers. Okay, this is a concept like this: connection SSH root, connecting like this, and you are going to fetch here. You are going to fetch the some information, private IP, onto your Terraform. So that is how it works like this. For the same concept, you can done through the Ansible also, but that is actual configuration management tool, Ansible. But here, just small concepts, small things you are going to done through the Terraform provisioners also. So that is why they kept, there are limited scope is available. You cannot full-fledged, you cannot play here with the help of provisioners. If you wanted to run some script after provisioning the server, you are using remote provisioners concept. Got it, no? We can refer this link also. So, only thing is you guys need to spend some time on creating the server, provisioning the server, change the configuration, destroy, so that you will get an idea. So once you are familiar with the at least for basics mid-level, things, so that you will be next you can go through the advanced level concepts. So until unless if you go with the advanced level, again you are going to complicating the things. First, you guys need to familiar with the fundamentals. then we'll look into the advanced level things. But for the interview point of view, these things are enough. But any one tool, when I say one tool, so these are all the minimum knowledge is required as a DevOps knowledge, DevOps engineer. If you wanted to expertise in any one area, either you wanted to expertise in the Terraform, you wanted to expertise in the Kubernetes, Docker Kubernetes, or you wanted to expertise in the GitLab. So any one tool, you just go through the end to end. So there are
Okay.
you will get a lot of documents also. I can share you so that in that particular area you are going to work. It doesn't mean that if you know all these things, you are going to work in all the area, all the tools. No, not like that. As a DevOps engineer, all these tools, minimum knowledge you require all these tools. What is Puppet is doing, what is Ansible doing, what is Jenkins is doing. So all this knowledge is required, but out of this, any one tool, you have to be expertise in that tool so that you are going to work on only on those teams. Ansible is a separate team, Puppet is a separate team, and now, any questions, Shruti? Let me stop sharing recording.